is presented by U.S. Army. Here in our nation's capital, we kick off the final day of the UFL regular season. One of the best rivalries we have in this league in Arlington and D.C., the two teams that met for the XFL championship a year ago, with the Renegades pulling off the upset win. Let's get you caught up with some of the trends that we've seen through the league leading up to this game. It's all about the kickers, right? 24 field goals made from at least 50. D.C.'s Matthew McCrane has 5 of those. 14 games decided by 5 points or less. Bob Stoops in Arlington knows about that. 3 losses for them by 3 points or less. And that onside alternative, the 4th and 12, make it take it. 3 is 7. How about this? Arlington had a 10-point lead with under 2 minutes left in the first matchup this season between these two teams. DC came back courtesy of that 4th and 12 conversion to get the win. Welcome to DC. Lowell Galendo here with Tom Luganbill. We've got Caleb Burton and Harry Douglas joining us on the field. Now, these two teams have been eliminated from the playoffs for weeks now. But make no mistake about it, it's personal. Still plenty on the line. The NFL, they've got their eyes on the tape. What are they looking for?
Energy, effort, and passion. Because it's one thing to have some tape and have some film and you're 4-2 and things are going great, right? How do you play when it's 2-7? All right, there's 10 opportunities, and there are a precious few opportunities. And if you want to have that shot at an NFL training camp, they're going to turn on the tape of those last 2 to 3 weeks. They're going to see how hard you play. They're going to see how consistent you are. They know what your talent level is, but how much does it mean to you when you're out of the race?
And some of those guys have gotten a little taste, and they want more, like Chris Rowland, the do-it-all star for D.C. 2 games in the NFL. How does he get back?
Well, he's been a field position flipper. And if you want to make an NFL roster, contribute and change the game in the kicking game. And he, as a result of injuries to this receiving corps for DC, has gone from being a sub-package wide receiver to a go-to target in this offense. So he's shown his worth at wideout as well.
Our All-American, Harry Douglas, is standing by with his head coach, Reggie Barlow.
Coach Barlow, Chris Rowland for you has been a dynamic player all season long, both as a wide receiver and as a specialist. From the moment he got here, day one, to right now, how has he grown as a player?
Yeah, Chris Rowland is an outstanding football player. We knew that he had a versatile game. He could be a receiver. He could be a returner. Play him in the slot. You can put him at running back. But more importantly, he's a great guy. He's a great teammate. I saw the tweet that he put out where 10 people, he'll buy tickets for them to come to the game if they wanted to come. So an amazing guy, amazing football player, and we're glad that he's a part of our team.
Thanks, Coach. You guys have a good one today.
Thank you.
Now, top for Arlington, it has not been the season they've wanted, but they're clicking. The highest scoring offense in the league over the past 3 games. Sal Cannella, big reason why.
Well, he's a huge reason why, because he's so versatile. He's a mismatch versus linebackers versus safeties. You can flank him out in the slot. You can utilize him in motion. But really where he's at his best is using his height and his length in 50-50 ball, jump ball matchups like that in the red area. That's where the targets will come today for quarterback Luis Perez.
6 receiving touchdowns this season, #1 in the UFL. 5 of those coming over the last 5 games. For more on his quarterback, Luis Perez, here's Kayla.
Oh, and he's been chasing the NFL dream for about a decade now. He has spent time in the NFL. He's played in the AAF, the XFL, the USFL, now here in the UFL. And he tells me, even though I missed the playoff for the first time, I still believe this is my best year yet. What I've been able to put on tape, and that stat line shows it. He leads the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completions percentages, total offense. Head coach Bob Stoops agrees and says he deserves a real shot. He's talented, bright. He may not be the strongest or the biggest, but where he'll beat you is with his quick release, his intelligence, his football IQ. Expect Perez to show a little bit more of that here today.
Well, talking about rivalries like we did off the top of the show, we've got one here with our best bets of the day. Kayla and Tom are head-to-head. You see the bet at the top there. Kayla's taking Sal Cannella over 45.5 receiving yards. But if Tom hits on the Cannella anytime touchdown,
it's over.
You win the chip.
It's over. I still don't know what I get, but I know I win. And poor Harry, he's still gambling like he's at the Kentucky Derby.
Harry and I are playing for the #1 pick next year. That about sums it up. In the United Football League, home team gets to decide to kick or receive. DC kicking it away. And here is Renegades standout returner, Javon Manigo. And that will position, setting up Luis Perez, his last shot to put together some good film for the NFL this season.
See some of the numbers there. I actually broadcasted his Division II National Championship game. He had a lights-out day that night in Kansas City. So experienced, so smart. He's like a coach on the field.
Play on, boys. Let's go, man. Last ride together. Here we go. Hey, trough left. Wide move. Colt 3. F bubble. On top.
Coming off a 3-touchdown, no interception performance in the upset of the year last week over St. Louis. DC favored by 1. The total is 46.5. Early carry here to the Michigan man. That's Davion Smith. And this has been a DC defense that has struggled, especially to stop the run.
Well, they have lonely been a defense that's relied so much on rushing the passer that they've struggled to slow people in the ground game. Hurry up here.
No, Javonte Payton, standout receiver for the Renegades. He was hurt last week, placed on the injured reserve. Perez working it to Isaiah Winstead, and that was the player that emerged in the absence of Payton, coming off a 64-yard performance out of East Carolina.
Well, at least it puts him now in third and manageable. Just a quick little slant right. See how poised and calm Luis Perez is.
2, Dixie right. 51.
Renegades just under 50% on third down. Tied for the best mark in the league with the Birmingham Stallions. 3rd and 4 for Perez. Thought about using the legs, and a good comeback by Tyler Vaughns out of USC for the first down.
So initially you think Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, is going to show pressure. They back off. They end up rushing 3. Now there's a window there to take off and run, but Luis Perez, that experience, keeps his eyes downfield, throws a dart, moves the chains, fresh set of downs.
Guys, what we're going to see a lot of from Arlington, a lot of empty formation that allows the quarterback to be able to survey the defense, see things clear, especially when you have a defensive coordinator that loves to blitz like Greg Williams.
It was a 1-point loss by these Renegades in week number 3 against DC. And that is Deontay Burnett in motion, a little flip to him. So we saw Tyler Vaughns, one USC Trojan, and there's another in Deontay Burnett. The head coach is all crimson. We're talking about Bob Stoops, second year on the job at OU. Won himself a national title. He's got an XFL title with these Renegades a year ago, and his team is now clicking, Tom.
Yeah, he's clicking. They're just clicking late. And this happened a year ago as well, but they had enough time with a couple of weeks more than they've had at this juncture. It's just been too late. Too many close calls. We'll outline that today. Some of the second half collapses of this Arlington team.
Burnett in motion, little flea flicker. Why not? Perez has a man. Vaughns lost it. Incomplete. And Garyon Connolly in coverage. The Ohio State Buckeye won that matchup.
This is outstanding by number 20, Garyon Connolly. Staying in phase. He's beat. He peeked inside. He recovers and then late throws that right arm in there and swipes down to pull the ball out. That's just outstanding coverage and not allowing contact until the ball reached the target, avoids the defensive pass interference.
So last week it was a Sooner pass that hit for a touchdown from Perez to Canella. A little flea flicker there. Back to the ground, tough running. Davion Smith still up, rumbling down to the 10-yard line. 27 yards. Player prop on Smith, 44.5.
It's just a cut back to the inside zone. And poor tackling on the back end right there from Deontay Anderson and others. A nice opening stanza here for Arlington.
Tom, it doesn't take a football expert to notice recently with the DC defense, some bad angles, at times some poor effort.
No doubt.
Red zone. This is Sal Cannella territory. Back to Smith. And Smith is struck down by Conley. That is Michigan on Ohio State right there. One of the best rivalries in college football. Smith, 5 games in the NFL. There's Sal Cannella. Started off as a hoopster, made his way to the gridiron, played at Auburn, and now second season with the Renegades.
Ohio, line bounce, 1, 2, 3. It's Ohio. Hey, you have to go. Hey.
Cannella, number 80 in the slot at the top of the screen. He's a jump ball threat. Perez looking left, though. How about that for a jump ball threat, but loses it at the last moment. Lawan Winningham almost made one of the catches of the year.
It was a tremendous effort. Luis Perez puts this ball up really the only place that he can on the back shoulder. Harry, I think you got to come down with that. That's a well-thrown ball to the only open spot.
Yeah, that's 2 touchdowns now dropped by the Arlington Renegades, and I'll give them a word of advice. The rice bucket to work on forearm strength might be their best friend after today.
Dip and grab.
Feeding the snake already here in D.C. 3rd and 5 and a false start on Arlington.
No, I'm not. Hey, it's off.
Or this could be delay a game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now, we can pick up that communication. There's something off between the play call coming in and what's on the wristband.
Yeah, what he's hearing and what he's looking down to call is not matching up with the personnel they have on the field, so they got to get this ironed out.
52 Bills.
When we say personnel, are they in one back, 2 tight end, 1 back, 1 tight end?
Communication via the headset technology that's coming to college football next season. 3rd and 10. Quick one to Cannella. Cannella has 2 blockers, but that is Abdullah Kelly out of Fresno State making the open field stop. Huge tackle there to set up 4th down.
If Isaiah Winstead could have come off of his combo block, he's number 14 there on the edge. If he comes off that block, he makes that block there. Cannella can cut back inside, and that's just effort right now and flying to the football, leveraging the ball outside in, right there for Baker. Good defensive stand here for D.C., 4th and 3.
We'll bring in the Texas Tech Red Raider. Comes up for Jonathan Garibay. All Big 12 selection in his playing days in Lubbock. And the Renegades are on the board. However, on the opening drive, Arlington dropped 2 would-be touchdowns. They settled for 3. So much to do in this great city. It's not just the monuments and everything around Capitol Hill. A lot of places to hang, but Tom, you know the best place to be on a Sunday when there's UFL football in town. It's building that beer snake.
It's the north end zone, and it's starting to file in nicely. I know Harry Douglas is going to be on top of that throughout the broadcast here. I, for one, I think we need to adopt what Birmingham's done with their end zone crazies, no shirts.
Yeah.
You get the beer snake folks to go shirtless. Now we've really raised it up a notch.
Really, if you're gonna build a beer snake, what are you doing if you're not doing it shirtless?
That's
right?
a good point, yeah. And then you don't ruin a shirt if you spill.
Absolutely. So Chris Rowland with his first opportunity from the 10, one of the best returners in the league, showing wide sideline, but drug out by Jene Harris, saving a touchdown perhaps.
I love the decisiveness here from Chris Rowland. There's no dancing. Number 3, Cameron Harris, the running backs, leading the way. Really well executed. He has done this all year long. Look at the short field offensively now for DC.
And Tom, I'll add to it. A great returner, all of them that you may see throughout the history of football at every level, they know how to set their blocks up. Chris Rowland did a great job starting straight on, then following his blockers to the right side of his wall and taking it for a big one.
And that skill set will be more valuable now in the NFL with the change in the kickoff rule. 55-yard return, setting up the Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Ta'amu.
Ready. Set, go.
Ta'amu putting the touch on it. A little too far. As he was looking for his tight end out of Tennessee, Alex Ellis.
He's going to wish he had that one back. Should have taken the flat route with the underneath target.
Pro left Zen, 29 Tiger. Pro left Zen, 29 Tiger. 29 Tiger.
Brilliant a season ago for these DC defenders and had the best regular season record in the XFL. Been more of a struggle this year. Here's Cameron Harris trying to reverse fields, taking it up to the 30. Ball is out.
Unfortunate to jump on it, but they also lost two. After some nice patience to slow down, Cameron Harris hits that backside crease. Ball pops out right there. A lot of red jerseys around to jump on top. 3rd and 10 nonetheless.
But Tom, you brought up a great point on first down. Instead of going for the home run, never get tired of making deposits, putting money in the bank.
Yep.
Let's go. Get set. Let's go. Ready.
3rd and 10. Great protection on the edge. Ta'amu does this as well as anybody not named Adrian Martinez in the United Football League. That's going to set up a 4th and short.
Nice job of surveying the field. Doesn't see anything wide open. Don't put the ball in harm's way. And now you've given yourself a chance to make a decision here. Looks like they're going to go for the field goal.
That will bring on Bill Snyder's former kicker at Kansas State, Matthew McCrane. 15-18 for the season. He is a weapon for Reggie Barlow. This from 44 yards to tie us up at 3. And straight into beer snake territory. We got a tie game. With that total being high at 46.5, the start definitely a win for those who selected the under. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Off last year's XFL championship, high hopes, but only a 2-7 record. Here's why: the close losses. Week 2, get beat down at the wire by a game-winning field goal. Week 3, they blow a 10-point lead in the final minute, allowing 11 points. And then week 6 at Michigan, Jake Bates happened. However, they corrected some of that a week ago in that upset against St. Louis. They picked off the final 3 passes of the game to win when it mattered the most.
I don't know when the last time was I've seen a team that's 2-7 yet +8 in turnover margin. That doesn't happen. That doesn't add up. This has just been a team that's been snake bit to some degree, but they've come alive as of late.
I don't want to face them right now. Highest scoring offense in the league over the last 3 games. Winners of 2 of their last 3 coming into this. Here's Juwan Manigault out of Delaware Valley. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in the United
Free kick out of
Football League.
bounds.
This will come out to the 50-yard
The ball
line.
will be placed at the 50-yard line. First down.
Wow.
Well, moments ago on the opening Arlington drive, we heard miscommunication with the wristband.
Bro, this is all f***ed up. This is all f***ed up. Terrible tonight. Hey, it's off. No, the wristbands are off. It's not making sense with the personnel.
The wristband's wrong or something.
And we will get to the bottom of that in just a moment. I'm sure that Luis Perez and his OC Chuck Long have figured things out now. And the second job for Perez and the Renegades. Perez will throw, looking for Canella, overthrown. Caleb.
I asked Luis Perez what went wrong with that call and then the miscommunication. He said the call was number 42 on his call sheet, but he was looking at a different number. 42 wasn't even on the call sheet, so he was confused there, came off to the sidelines. They both figured it out. He kind of laughed at me, smiled, and said, listen, no big deal. Let's just make up for it now.
Now he's got to get everybody lined up.
Devin Darrington checking those feet. A nice surge there for a gain of 6 before Kevin Atkins brings him down. Darrington, a Harvard man, Second team All-Ivy before wrapping up his career at Virginia.
Got a little bit of juice there. Showed great patience trying to navigate those inline trenches. Get him on a third manageable.
A lot of injuries at the running back spot for Arlington.
So they're expecting man defense here. You heard Luis Perez say good meshes, good meshes. That's two receivers on the inside crossing face with each other.
Five-man rush gets home. Perez chucks it away just in time before Andre Mintz got to him. Mintz, the Vandy Commodore, and we got a flag down.
And this is the correct call.
Number 12, 10-yard penalty, loss of down, 4th down.
It's a good call, Lowell. This ball essentially went to a 90-degree angle to the sideline with no white jersey in sight because it wasn't even close to the original line of scrimmage. You'll see some pressure coming up there through the A-gap with the game in the twist between the center and the guard, creating some pressure right into the face of Luis Perez.
Mintz with 4 tackles in his NFL career that spanned over 6
Correction,
games.
the penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
All those 6 games coming in 2021 with the Broncos. So time to punt this one away once
Number
again.
36, 25, 49, 44, and 81 are ineligible.
It's going to be rolling back deep to return. And Marquette King, 35 years old, longtime kicker with the Raiders in the NFL, 84-game career. Even at 35, he thinks he's got enough juice left in that leg to get back for one final shot. Here's Roland. This is going to be his ticket. Special teams. Every snap that Roland has in the NFL on special teams, 16 of those. The UFL regular season ends tonight with the Memphis Showboats hosting the Houston Roughnecks at 7 Eastern on Fox. What do you think about the wrinkle that they put on this matchup? Because Houston and Memphis both only one win on the season.
Sure.
So the winner, not the loser,
Yeah.
the winner of that game will get the first overall pick in the UFL draft and the first pick of every round.
Yeah, I love giving them the first pick of the draft. I don't know about the first pick of every round. If you do a good job in personnel, you can make some hay.
Make something of it. Darius Hagans is met quickly by Markel Lee out of Wake Forest.
So normally what you do in a draft setting like that is you have, you know, your first pick all the way up to 8, and then it's serpentine for the second round. So 8 goes to 1, and then you continue throughout the round. So that's going to be very interesting.
But with all these players, it should be motivation enough just to get good film.
Absolutely.
That the NFL will see and notice. Here's to Amu to throw. Pressure quickly. Low throw, nearly picked off by Ajene Harris, who had 5 of those for Houston last year.
Spread right, 10, 54, T under. 10, 54, T under.
10, 54, T under. All right.
Fred Geis, second-year offensive coordinator for these DC Defenders. He's done a fabulous job with a lot of challenges, personal and otherwise, this year. Ta'amu just has to spike that one. But really the challenges have been on the offensive line. Injuries there, and then offensive line coach Russ Ehrenfeld had to leave the team to take care of some personal reasons. Sean Kugler, former head coach at UTEP, comes in to control that offensive line.
Number 39, 28, 80, 89, and 55 are ineligible.
So many challenges for Fred Geis in this offense.
Well, it's been a completely different year than it was a year ago when they finished the regular season 9-1. They didn't have injuries a year ago. The offensive line was shored up. They had 2 dual threat quarterbacks, and the ball bounced their way. It's been anything but in 2024.
Paxton Brooks got pressure. Was there a pinky on that? Manigo with the return from the 35, spinning his way up and getting drilled just shy of the 45-yard line. Tonight on Sunday Night Baseball, it's a series finale between the Cardinals and the Phillies. The game begins at 7 Eastern. Baseball tonight, starting our coverage on ESPN. And I hate to say it here in D.C., but I don't know if there's a more entertaining watch at the plate than Bryce Harper these days. And his Phillies are rolling. Perez 4 for 8, 31 yards. Play action thrown behind Vaughns. And through the Kelly in coverage.
It's a nice job by Kelly. Wrapping the arm around the waist of Bonds, not bumping him at the same time.
Perez, nice catch by Vaughns this time. Or maybe a better tackle by Garyon Conley.
I don't know if you caught that, but you heard Luis Perez, as he's given the token fake, he goes, block, as he was directing Davion Smith to ensure that he blocked up front after he didn't handle the ball.
And guys, we're going to see that 3-by-1 formation, 3 receivers to a certain side, a single receiver to the boundary. The previous play, I thought they were going to go backside to Sal Cannella because he was one-on-one.
Flag down. Perez into double coverage, and he was looking for Vaughns again. Let's sort this out.
The offsides lined up in the neutral zone, number 15. Offside in the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, and this results in a first down.
Yeah, you don't want to get Derek Roberson a head start.
No,
he'll hurt you.
Well, what a killer penalty, though. It's a fresh set of downs now for Arlington on offense. And I agree with Harry. They're trying to split out Sal Cannella, get him one-on-one with a deep middle safety to use that size on the fade ball. They're going to take it at some point.
Cannella has been targeted twice. He has 1 catch for 2 yards. That's him in motion, wearing number 80. Picked off. Conley repping the Buckeyes with his second INT of the year. Has 4 of those in an NFL run that lasted over 3 years. Stewart has made plays on the highest level.
This is a great example of film study. Slants off with a token fake. Slant, slant, slant. So what does Garyon Conley do? He runs the route for him. Steps right in front of the intended target because he knew it was coming. He beats him to the point. What a fantastic play by Garyon Conley. He's been injured for much of the year, but when he has played, he has been a staple in the back end for DC alongside DeAndre Baker.
Had a scary injury in 2019 in the NFL when he was taken off the field in a stretcher, suffering a neck injury. Was released from the hospital the same day. You know, he's hungry for another chance at the NFL. To Amu, who has not been there yet. Complete to Ty Scott. Ball is out. We got a scrum. Renegades feel like they have it.
It's like they do. We're close here.
No signal.
The
ruling on the field is the ball carries forward. Progress was stopped. Second down.
So right now we have Stephen Jones screaming at Bob Stoops to use the super challenge. DC goes fast, and there is the Miami Hurricane Cameron Harris. Let's bring in Dean Blandino from the U.S. Army Command Center. Dean, what did you see on that last play?
So the officials ruled forward progress. What I'm looking for, did the ball come out immediately upon first contact, or did it come out before any contact? That's the only way the command center can get involved and change it. And it didn't do either of those things. He had the ball. He was getting stacked up. The progress was ruled to have been stopped.
Now, Dean, is that something you can look at in the final 5 minutes of regulation?
I can look at it at any point during the game, but to change it, it has to come out before that initial contact.
Right. Thank you, Dean. We appreciate it.
And credit DC for anticipating a challenge, anticipating a stoppage, going NASCAR, going fast. Really smart football by the DC offense.
Ta'amu, pressure. Still fighting. Almost makes the circus play to Ty Scott out of Missouri State. And Ta'amu was fighting for his life there, Tom.
Well, he was, but very fortunate that Arlington's able to come up with a play here and get him corralled. You see some line stunts up front. And if that tackle's not made, Jordan Ta'amu might still be running.
At the end of one, a low-scoring field. Just 2 field goals to show for the action thus far. 3-3 between Arlington and DC. The DC defenders, faithful, getting after it in the north end zone. The beer snake is getting bigger and better. Here's some of the science behind it. And Tom, I think we can declare it a beer snake now because I see curvature.
Yeah, there's curvature. That's an indicator. They've also added the second element to it, so they're 2 in terms of the number of cups they require before they add to it.
And you just added a new layer that there must be a shirtless dude holding the bear snake to now make it official.
Yes, and we see him holding it right over the shoulder there. He needs to relay the message, though. Not everybody's gotten the memo.
Great atmosphere here inside Audi Field. A Garyon Conley interception setting up Jordan Ta'amu. A nice aggressive catch. He's looking for a flag as Kiki Kuti out of Texas Tech did not get the call.
Quick by Jordan Ta'amu here to get the ball out of his hands. He knows the middle of the field's open. It's good focus and concentration. Now we see 2 tight ends come in. Don't be surprised if we see quarterback run here.
DC has struck.
DC, this is their first of the half.
And an opportunity
30 seconds
to talk this one over. And we'll take a listen.
They did. They did.
So 28-29, 28's even, that's going to be the right, 29's odd, that's to the left. And what they're going to try and do is they're going to run a check with me here. So 29's the call, meaning they want to hand the football off to the running back going to the left side. On the outside stretch zone, he could check it to 28 depending on the alignment of the defensive front. Checks it.
Cameron Harris cuts it up. It's going to be short initially. Takes the stand. It's a defense that has been much maligned this year, but starting to play its best football here at the end of the year.
So as we discussed, they checked the ball. Too much push from that defensive front from Arlington. Nowhere to go, no crease to fit through. I really wish DC would have gone quarterback run here. Try to get an extra hat, an advantage, and get the opportunity to get an extra lead blocker with Cameron Harris leading the way along with the 2 tight ends you had from a personnel standpoint. More quarterback run in this offense makes DC more difficult to defend.
And once again, Tommy, that under looking like the pick.
Yep.
Which is the reason why you saw that big negative number on my best bet account. Because I was the guy that picked the over. Still time. Big game Bob can get this offense cranked up. You talk about a guy that's having fun at this level. Bob Stoops still has that hunger to coach football. And as we've heard many coaches describe this as pure as it gets in the UFL. Here's a carry to Davion Smith out of Michigan. Offense coordinator is Chuck Long, former quarterback from Iowa.
Right, truck 5.
Shot.
Right, truck 5.
Top 5.
Not just any quarterback. the name Bo Jackson. That's the man that narrowly edged him out in the 1985 Heisman voting. Perez took his shot. There is a flag down as he was hit by Momo Sanogo.
All right, we're going to have a roughing the passer. Sorry for that. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 55. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So you get the completion to Canella and tack on 15 because of that hit by Sanogo.
Yeah, it's just silly, stupid penalties. They've also had a penalty earlier on the offsides by Derek Roberson on 3rd and 4 that ended up giving Arlington another fresh set of downs. So you just can't play sloppy football and expect to win.
These are the things that we're talking about, too, putting good film together.
Yes, and disciplined film, smart film.
Back to the ground, patient running, maybe a couple of yards there for Davion Smith. Dennis Johnson makes a stop. Now, when we talk about getting to the next level, most likely we're talking about an invite to training camp and seeing where it goes from there.
Absolutely, and really a mini camp initially, then training camp. And then can you last? And are you in the right place at the right time with the right opportunity, the right coaching staff, right scheme? A lot of stars have to align.
Perez did play in the preseason with the Rams back in 2018. Screen, well timed to Smith. And Smith has the first down.
It's a really well set up and well designed play at the perfect time to try and slow down this pass rush of DC, setting up the screen to Davion Smith. And he does a nice job reading the block upside, cutting it back inside, and another fresh set of downs for the Renegades.
That was Jake Lucina downfield making that block to set it up, Harry.
No, it was just a great job of mirroring plays together. The previous run play looked exactly like that screen setup. So great job by Chuck Long as the offensive coordinator making things look the same.
There's Smith slipping through one tackle. Harry, get into that a little bit more in terms of setting up plays that look alike.
Yeah, you just don't want to, give the defense one thing to look at. You want to have a formation or multiple formations and have about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 different plays off of it. So the defense is seeing the same thing, but different plays are coming off of it. And I go back to the Super Bowl that Tom Brady won in Atlanta. They only ran a handful of plays, but they got to it different ways.
Perez took another shot. He was looking for Winstead, but it's broken up by Anthua Kelly, the Fresno State Bulldog.
Well, right here, this is a veteran knowing he is going to be exposed, and he's got to get the ball in his hand. He takes one step, throws it up one-on-one. He's got a height advantage right there. Almost comes down with it. Looks like they're going to throw it again here in the red area. Sal Cannell there to the bottom of your screen.
Instead, it's a run with Darrington. This is not going anywhere. Greg Williams and his DC defense bowling up inside the 25-yard line. 4th down, what do you do?
I go for it right here. And you know what? I hard count him because of the discipline that DC has failed to show that have extended series for Arlington. I think you take an opportunity here because the way this thing's playing out right now, a touchdown is a big deal.
Instead, Bob Stoops will just decide to torture everyone that took the over. Come on, Bob. There's Garibay. His second attempt, good pressure off the edge. And Garibay is 2 for 2. Timeout. So we have 9 total points. All right. Renegades with the lead. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. The official spiked beverage of the UFL. Try new Simply Spiked Lemonade today. Celebrate responsibly. Simply Spiked Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Look at the Lincoln Monument. Here in our nation's capital, gorgeous day. And what a crowd here for the final game of the year for the DC Defenders. We even have some Ravens fans showing up. Why not? This is what is great about this league. There's a hunger across this country for football in the spring, and this satisfies that. Just a moment ago, we saw Roland back to kick this, return the kick. He was pumping up his beer snake friends back in the north end zone. So many personalities on the field and in the stands in this league. Roland with an opportunity at the 15. Already has a 55-yard return, and Roland is going to take it. Roland, one man to beat, not gonna get him. Attention NFL, Chris Roland is a playmaker.
About what makes a great returner is somebody that allows for the blocks to develop at the same time as decisive and doesn't dance. Look at him find this crease right there. And now he bounces it, but he's so patient in traffic that he's able to navigate. And I think you got to have great eyes. You got to have a great feel for angles. And this guy's just got natural instincts to flip field position.
84 yards, the first kickoff return for a touchdown in the UFL. And it comes on the second to last game of the regular season. He was a standout at Tennessee State, where he broke Jerry Rice's record for the most catches in a single season in Black college football history. And a flag is down for the two-point conversion attempt.
5-yard penalty, replay the try.
So in the UFL, we don't kick after touchdowns. Instead, it's a one-point conversion from the 2, a 2 from the 5, or a 3 from the 10. Now, even after the penalty and this moves back to the 10, it will still only count the 2 points.
Well, see, that's problematic because you're celebrating the touchdown and your play clock's running down. You've got to be ready to complete the act and then move on to your celebration.
Ta'amu for 2. This one sails. Did he hold on long enough? Yes. Alex Ellis straight from Rocky Top to the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
I don't know if he thinks he caught this football. Let's take a look. This is a long throw from Jordan Ta'amu. Catches the ball. He thinks he's dropped it. He thinks this is going to be an incomplete pass. That's right.
Yeah, he's got to have control both feet and have it long enough to do something with it. The ball gets knocked out immediately as that second foot hits the ground. There's no time here. That's an incomplete pass.
That's Dean Blandino reviewing it from the UFL U.S. Army Command Center. Stephen Jones credited him at Appalachian State with a breakup.
Yeah, but what was so interesting about that right there is Ellis is completely convinced it's an incomplete pass until he starts seeing his teammates running over to him. And then he starts acting like he caught it.
It's like, hey, guys, hold that thought. Right?
Yeah.
And obviously, Reggie Barlow disagrees.
Hey, he didn't have it long enough.
And you see the red hanky in his back pocket. All teams have one super challenge per game. You can challenge anything at any time. You need to specify what you're going to challenge. You also have to have one timeout
right away, and they called it good
to use that challenge. This is a play you would not use that challenge on because Dean has already reviewed it.
Absolutely.
But man, a slow pace here. All special teams, but we've got a touchdown with that special teams greatness from Chris Roland. Short kick here. And Manigo is going to take this one out of bounds. Let's check in with Harry.
I'm here with Chris Roland, who just scored an 84-yard touchdown on a kick return. Chris, in the foxhole, you made a guy miss. After that, what was on your mind?
Man, just trying to get as much as I can. First and foremost, I want to thank, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the opportunity to play this game and just, blessed with the ability to be able to maneuver through, phone booth situations. So anytime, I get caught up in those situations, I always tell myself, hey, got to try and fall forward, make a guy miss and just keep pushing on the blockers and, and open up, man.
What would you tell anyone who's looking for an opportunity? Is that all you need to be able to get back to the National Football League?
Yeah, man, opportunity, for anybody, all the kids out there that, want an opportunity, whatever they want to do, just keep putting your best foot forward and just keep, believing in God and having that trust. It's going to happen, but you got to stay faithful and, just keep at it. So this league is all about opportunities. There's a lot of players that shouldn't be in this league, which I'm not saying anything's bad about that, but there's players that can play at the next level, and all they need is an opportunity. Thanks, Chris. No problem.
Roland has been overlooked most of his life. And that's complete to Sal Cannella. But there is a real need in the NFL with now that league going to the kickoff return rules like we saw similar to last year in the XFL.
Yeah, you want to have the true component of a return, but you also want to have the safety or enhanced safety of the return as well.
9 point on the board for DC. They lead by 3 over Arlington. And the big fella on the backside tackle, TJ Barnes out of Georgia Tech. And DC is signaling football is out. And it's rolled down, 3rd down coming up. Oh, looks like a potential face mask as well.
Well, the knee looks like it's definitely down when that ball is punched out, but you're right, Lowell. There might have been a missed grab of the face mask there early on.
Now, that is something you can use the super challenge on. Still probably too early in the game to go that route. Perez feels it, dumps it, as Malik Fisher out of Villanova was there to apply.
Malik Fisher's one of those high motor guys we talked about that's going to give great effort, passion. You see him run the loop right here. This is what Luis Perez does not have. He doesn't have that dynamic ability to just be an athlete and keep plays alive and extend with his legs. He's going to win with his mind. He's going to win with his arm, timing, anticipation. That's just an effort play right there by Malik Fisher, number 92.
Reggie Barlow thinks Malik Fisher has a shot to get a look in the NFL. 7 sacks, 2nd in the league this season behind Michigan's Breland Speaks. And a flag down before the punt. That's going to be a delay.
Game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
All right, so tread lightly, Marquette King to Chris Rowland. Now, the way it works in the UFL, any punt that goes out of bounds inside the 25 is coming out to the 25. So there's really no coffin corner punting in this league. It's to promote the return, and we've seen why. Explosive athletes like Chris Rowland. DC backs off, and this one is going to sail into the end zone, and that will come out at the 25-yard line. And the Bluebirds coming out. They want Chris Rowland to get another shot on special teams. Do something electric here. Time for today's SOA Big Dwayne Energy Spotlight. It's the little man, Chris Rowland.
Look at him get lost in there. And then all he needs is a glimmer of daylight. Turns on the jets and off he goes. Really been the difference in this football game as we see DC coming out here to start this next offensive possession. And anytime you hear that term glance, there's an option for the quarterback to pull that football off of the token fake. And you see number 2 at wide receiver, Brandon Smith, to the bottom of your screen, would be assigned the glance route.
And a flag comes flying.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So, Tommy, every point thus far scored via special teams.
Yep.
Flex right. Hey, flex right line. Flex right line. I want her. Line.
We talked about Rowland. He now has 3 of the 6 longest kick returns this year in the league. 2 of them coming today, 55 yards of that 84-yard score. To Almer with time, a little high to Brandon Smith. And the Iowa Hawkeye is brought down. Here's Caleb.
Guys, Chris Rowland is just having a blast out here. You can see it from the sideline perspective, the smile that's on his face, obviously after what he just did. But he was playing for the Philadelphia Stars last year. Didn't know if he was going to make the merger. Now he's making the most of his opportunities.
And the Arlington defensive line stuffing Darius Hagans there. Really, the issues with Arlington throughout the course of the season has been the defense. Yes. That's been the problem.
Yeah, particularly in the defensive secondary, and they've given up a lot of explosives. And big plays at inopportune times. 3rd and 11, you know, 4th and 4. They give up a big play, and it's just plagued them all season long.
And how often do you see a team that's +8 in the turnover margin with the losing record?
You don't.
That is threading the needle by Ta'amu to Ty Scott. He's got a player prop and anytime touchdown, which Harry took in 52.5 receiving yards.
It's a great 3-man concept. You have one guy going to the flat, one over the ball, one just going straight up about 5 yards. Ty Scott, great job making that reception.
Ta'amu to throw to Rowland. Special teams and on offense, he cannot be stopped. Give him 14.
See, Rowland initially gives the impression that he's going to cross the field on a deep over route, and he gets to about the right hash mark and flips, turns around real quick, and he had the entire defense convinced he was going in the opposite direction. Good patience there by Jordan Ta'amu to wait and settle on him.
Quick toss, incomplete to Kiki Cutie. So Chris Rowland came off the field after his final college game at Tennessee State. He had 104 catches in his career, and his head coach said, "Congratulations on breaking the record." And he said, "What record?" He said, "The record for the most catches in the history of a season in black college football." He goes, "Oh, who had the record?" And his coach says, "Jerry Rice had no clue he was breaking a legendary record."
That's awesome.
Ta'amu rolls and throws. Reggie Barlow rarely feels like Darius Hagans can be a star as well. The man of the people, Chris Rowland. Hey, to fitness fans, thank you for all the support. I got 10 tickets to give away for our last home game. Tag someone who you think should get a ticket to the game, and let's get rowdy.
Rowdy and howdy, I love it.
Let's give him back. And this crowd has been awesome today. Third and 6 for the Ole Miss Rebel, and that is a strike. Man misses. Vincent Smith, he's got the wheels, taking it to the crib. That's how they roll at D2 Limestone. The Limestone Saint finding the end zone, proving this league doesn't care where you came from. It's all about where are you going.
Well, this was an absolute laser from the opposite hash on the speed cut out, thrown to the upfield elbow of the target. The only place it can be thrown without that defender getting his hand on it, Smith doing the rest.
43-yard touchdown for Vincent Smith. 2-point conversion, little inside option. That's QT, and it's going to be stopped 1 yard shy of the goal line. But our first offensive score, and it's been the big plays waking up this DC defender team. This is how it looked and sounded. These teams being eliminated from playoff contention weeks ago. We talked to Reggie Barlow about what this means. says about opportunity, getting a look at the NFL, you never know who's going to watch you. He said in college at Alabama State, he had his best game against Grambling. Who was on hand? The Grambling great Doug Williams, who happened to be a scout for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the time. Who's the team that ended up drafting Barlow in the 4th round? The Jacksonville Jaguars.
No question. And whether it's somebody in person standing on the sideline, whether it's a scout in some office somewhere watching tape and wanting to specifically see what a player is doing when things aren't going well for their team or they're eliminated from the playoffs, do they look the same way they did in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season when enthusiasm at an all-time high? It's all the little details that can provide that opportunity.
Also an opportunity for the coaches as Manigault will muff this one. He recovers, and also with the UFL rules, even if that would have been a fumble, it is not a live ball. DC could have pounced on it, but once that kick goes downfield, you cannot recover a muff on the kick return. UFL regular season ends tonight. Memphis Showboats hosting the Houston Roughnecks at 7 Eastern on Fox. But Reggie Barlow was telling us he wants to have a shot to do something like Bob Stoops, be the head coach at a power place like in Oklahoma. He's even willing to take a coordinator job at a power player in college football, or even a positional coach in the NFL.
Yeah. He's looking for opportunities just like these coaches are. He's had a great career as a head coach at the HBCU level. Obviously here at DC as well in the UFL and the XFL.
4:22 left in the first half for Luis Perez to get the Renegades offense going. Check down there to Devion Smith and lost his footing. Here's Caleb.
Reggie Barlow continues to remind his players what their why is and having them write down their goals. They know that they missed the playoff, but he says this is not over individually. And you mentioned Lowell. He also has his own goal. He says he looks at this every single day. I will be an NFL head coach. All of these guys have their written goals down, and it's impressive what Reggie Barlow has been doing with this group.
Power and positive thought on display here in Washington, D.C. Perez going back to Smith. That's off his fingertips. Not a live ball, as that was a forward pass.
Setting up the slip screen there to the right. Luis Perez obviously frustrated a little bit. Find themselves once again in 3rd down, and it hasn't been 3rd and 1s today for this offense. It's been 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7 plus.
Here's that empty formation, so Luis Perez can figure out what's the matchup that he really likes.
And we'll see what Greg Williams dials up. But you'll have to hold that thought.
Arlington. This is their first and a half. This will be 30 seconds.
Ghost. It's many ghost. Listen to me, Gerard. All 5 defensive linemen are too close. Tell the D linemen you're too close to the line of scrimmage. All 5 of you are too close.
He's passionate, Tom.
To say the least. To say the least. But again, what he's talking about there, where they've had 2 encroachment penalties, they're a little antsy. They're just waiting for the hard count to get them. He's telling them, hey, get back so you give yourself a chance to recover. Don't put us in a penalty situation at 3rd and 5. Be smart here. They haven't been smart on 3rd down defensively.
Okay, here we go.
Harry Douglas creeping in there.
Yeah.
Now may not be the time. 35 for the Renegades. Need to get something going. Underdogs by 1 heading into this matchup. Perez backing up, 1st down yardage to Deontay Burnett. Burnett last played in the NFL in 2020 with the Philly Eagles.
Good quick throw here. Get the ball out of your hands. Let your target do the rest. Keep yourself out of harm's way from a protection standpoint. That's where the veteran experience comes from with Luis Perez.
Perez looking for Candela. Grown man's catch.
Great anticipation of the seam route right here. Right down the top of the numbers. One hitch, ball's out, almost a back shoulder throw. Defenders just not facing the quarterback. And look, it's our first junior college Luke's look back. 2017 class for Sal Cannella. You had mentioned earlier he was a basketball player. He's number 36 overall out of our junior college top 50, #1 tight end. And it's those ball skills, those hand-eye coordination of basketball that's really helped him develop as a football player.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning. This will be the final snap. Before that, Smith trying to drag DC into the red zone, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Eliminated from the playoffs, but you wouldn't know it from the juice that we've got on the field here in our nation.
Terrible, sit up. Are you serious? Come on. Man. I haven't had one all year.
Luis Perez led the Renegades to the XFL championship a year ago. Here in the regular season finale, 11 of 20, 93 yards and an interception. He has been nearly flawless this season. Not just his 3rd pick of the year. Not bad for a man that did not play high school football because his high school program was running the wing T and they kept on moving him all over the place.
Yeah.
Forget about this. A bowl instead.
Exactly. 300 bowler at that.
2nd and 2. Here is Smith. Smith has already hit the over at 52 yards before that carry. Gets 1 there. And here's 3rd down. DC late getting on the field defensively, and Smith is going to have the 1st down yardage. Tom, were the defenders able to get set there?
No, they weren't able to get lined up. Greg Williams is hot, and he should be. Whether it's on offense or defense, it's hard to play sound football if you can't get lined up. You're late with your personnel on the field. That's why you hear Luis Perez saying, tempo, tempo, let's get them.
Final 2 minutes. It's like college rules. The clock stops after a 1st down for the ball to be set. And then it runs again. So here we are at 1:16 left before the break. Smith motions out. Backside pressure. Perez felt it and got it away quickly to Isaiah Winstead. Winstead to the 10-yard line, short of the 1st down. But still plenty of time here, Tom.
Yep, plenty of time. They're managing the clock well. Total timeouts, 2 for each team.
Renegades have dropped 2 touchdowns so far. Smith trying to lower the shoulder. He gets the 1st down, so the clock will stop for the ball to be spot. Perez wants more urgency for the offense.
See Davion Smith, who's telling he's going to put him off into the flat. Want to see if they're a man defense. That's why he's moving like that. See if somebody goes with him.
Perez rolls, directing traffic. End zone. Caught by Tyler Vaughns. He dropped 1, and he comes back and totally redeems himself. The man of Troy makes it a 3-point game.
So if you take a look at the back here, he's going to do this, and then he's going to come right back. That's an indicator to the quarterback. Are they going to be in man-to-man defense? No, they're not, because they didn't move. They stayed still. So as we run it, now Luis Perez knows they're playing zone defense. He gets out of the pocket, gets flushed. Nice job by Vaughns, working back to the quarterback, finding a way along that back end line, looking like a Harry Douglas.
2-point attempt from the 5. Perez looking for Darrington, makes a man miss in the open field, and that 2-pointer hits. And we have a 1-point game here in Washington, D.C.
Luis Perez initially looking to the right, to the middle, backside, knows where his outlet is. Darrington just does the rest. You got to make somebody miss in the open field. There's going to be somebody you're accountable for making miss if you have the ball in your hands in the open field.
Harry, you thought this was going to be a battle because you've seen these teams battle in the past.
Yeah, the last time this year in 2024, but the 2 games last year, Luis Perez had his first start right here at Audi Field last year when he got traded from the Las Vegas Vipers at the time. And that was a dynamic ball game. Me and Tom was a part of that one, but also the championship game of the XFL a season ago. Luis Perez was dynamic. Also, the DC Defenders played a good game as well. So I knew this one was going to be epic and a dynamic game for us to be able to have on ABC currently right now, guys.
Yeah, and Harry, I'll tell you, just as you were talking, Bob Stoops came over to his cover unit and says, guys, we have got to cover down. We have to cover here. Let's go, because he knows how dangerous number 12 is on that opposite goal line.
XFL championship game. Arlington was the dog, but Bob Stoops lived up to that big game Bob moniker and led the Renegades to the upset win. All of a sudden, the over now is looking like the play as we've got 29 combined points on the board. Chris Rowland, first player this year to surpass 1,000 kick return yards. He's got the lone return for a touchdown this year. How does he follow it up? And he accelerates so quick. Burning a different kind of fuel and taking it out to the 38-yard line. The NBA Finals start Thursday night on ABC. Jason Tatum and the Celtics playing Luka Doncic and the Mavs. Game 1 coverage tips at 8 Eastern with NBA Countdown. 10 seconds, 2 timeouts for DC. They push it here, Tom.
It looks like they're going to. Just listening to the language on the sideline, they're going to at least get something here.
No, you can.
Got a couple of plays. 2 timeouts.
McCrane with the big leg. He connected from 58 yards against Arlington earlier this year. Nope. That's Cutie. Maybe. And he is down with 3 seconds on the clock. And a timeout called by Reggie Barlow.
That gives them a shot to at least get one to the end zone.
Last play here, probably. Yeah, I don't think he can't make it into the wind 60 yards. See, he's going to throw it to the end zone.
Be more than 60 yards from here, but given it's a United Football League, I think you can line McCrane up from 70 in. He's got a
little bit closer, right?
Well, I know this.
5 yards.
Huh? Yeah, right.
So McCrane is telling Barlow, I need 5 yards.
You're going to run out of time.
Yeah, what can you do with 3 seconds?
You're going to have to take a shot to the end zone here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is awesome, though, the access that we have with that conversation. Coach and kicker. So Arlington's backing everybody up. 3 linemen here as Ta'amu will heave. He goes short. And that will bring us to the end of the first half. It was all field goals. And then Chris Rowland happened with the 84-yard touchdown return, and it's been wild ever since. DC with a 1-point lead. They will receive to start the second half. Here's Caleb Burton.
Guys, I'm here with Captain Sean Conway, who has been serving in our armed forces for 16 years. He's a dad to this little guy, Hudson, over here. Hi, Hudson. and you decided to serve for so long. Why?
No, well, there's no doubt about it. Finding a team of people to work with, all professionals, right? All fighting for the same goal, working towards the same end state. You can't get caught up in it enough.
You also are a dad. How do you balance both being that role and serving?
Well, there's no doubt about it. No question in my mind. Military spouses carry their weight in gold. There's no way I could do it without my wife, 100%. But yeah, no, it's a challenge for sure. You just got to be a team.
You're also not only a captain, but you played. Can you tell the folks where you played?
I did. I played at Arizona State University. I was a walk-on kicker punter. It was wonderful. There's so many parallels between sports, serving the military, dedication to a purpose, teamwork to a common goal, following the coach's game plan. Yeah, couldn't draw any more perfect comparison to the military than that.
It's awesome to have you here. Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Guys.
The Sun Devil in our house. Should line him up for a 65-yarder. I bet he comes up clutch here in our nation's capital. It's halftime. When we come back, we're talking all things Beer Snake. Give the people what they want. It's presented by U.S. Army. Here in Washington, D.C., it's the second to last game of the UFL regular season. We've got Arlington and D.C. battling with the defenders holding a 1-point lead. Loa Galindo here with Tom Luganville. Tom, we talked so much about, even though these teams are out of the playoff picture, they were going to fight to try for that next opportunity in the NFL. And we've seen it with the way this team has played on both sides. And that brings us to Chris Rowland and our game flow presented by Progressive. Rowland was the guy that started the real onslaught.
Well, it's why the kicking game and field position carries such a big role, because if you start your offense on the short field, you're in good shape. You start your defense on a long field, you're in good shape. If you score, better yet, you're in great shape. That's what Chris Rowland was able to do with that 84-yard kick return. And then it was Vincent Smith on the out route, just narrowly escaping the batted ball as Arlington comes roaring back in the back end of the second quarter to get that touchdown from Luis Perez. And I'll tell you, this is a game where the margin of error is super slim, Lowell.
Let's take a look at our Progressive first half stats. Some of the stars of the first half: 167 kick return yards, that 84-yarder, the longest in the UFL, the only return for a touchdown this season. Perez started slow. He's picked it up, Tom.
He has picked it up, and I think, a couple of things to look for in the second half here. Number one, can Arlington cover kick? Can their cover teams handle Chris Rowland, limit those returns and great field position? And I'm really looking to see for offense on DC's sideline. Start running the quarterback a little bit more. They haven't taken advantage of that, especially in the short yardage run situations. The typical run game with Cameron Harris and Darius Higgins has not flourished today. Let's get Jordan Ta'amu involved in the run game as much as he's been involved in the passing game.
You could just feel the emotion from both sides here, knowing this is it again. Every time Chris Rowland goes out in the shadow of that end zone, he is pumping up his folks that are busy constructing the engineering masterpiece that is the Beer Snake. It is looking good, Tom.
It is a medical marvel. I mean, that's the first half. So if we equate that length of the snake right now to the second half, we could be near the top of the stadium in the last row.
And it took them decades to build the Washington Monument. This goes up and down every week. There is Rowland with the return. And it's now time for Jordan Ta'amu to get the offense rolling for DC. But first, let's check in with Kayla.
Well, guys, I went into the Arlington locker room, and you could sense and feel that passion. A lot of the coaches and players saying, don't forget what you're playing for. We know that we missed the playoffs, but look, play for the names on your last name, on your jersey. Play for your teammates around you. From an X's and O's standpoint, head coach Bob Stoops says our kick coverage has been terrible. We've allowed too many big runs that led into touchdowns. We have to be sharper there. Once we clean that up, we have a game. Got crossed up a few times on third down possessions, but he does like how they're moving the ball.
Live line is now DC favored by 2.5. It closed at DC a 1-point favorite. The total is now 50.5. Ta'amu taking a shot, wants Brandon Smith, and what a play by Ajene Harris, the USC Trojan. Let's check in with Harry.
Yes, guys, I was in the D.C. defenders locker room, and Greg Williams, their defensive coordinator, was adamant that they get ahead on Davion Smith. Right now, he has 59 yards at halftime, and he ended it like this. 1, 2, 3. Come get some, snitch. And I'm replacing that word snitch because I can't use the other one, guys. Back to you.
He is one of the most colorful, entertaining coaches in the game of football, period. And he brings that life to the DC defense. Oh, good deception there, but dropped by Vincent Smith. What you think of that, Tommy?
I love the play design and the call, the slow mesh fake, and you got to make that play, Harry. If that ball's right there for you to make on the glance route off of the token fake. It's professional football. You got to catch that ball.
Yeah, especially you got to understand about that glance route. It's a 5-step post, so most of the times you're going to have to make your body big, and you have to expect contact. Don't let it defer you from catching the football, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a hit regardless.
DC elected to kick the first kick of the game. That means they received to start the second half. Downfield shot, trying to draw a flag, and Kiki QT does exactly that. That was Donald Payne trying to keep up with him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
This is well done by Kiki QT, too, because he starts throwing his hands up before his body even hits the ground. Watch him.
Yeah.
Outstanding job drawing the foul, using his arms, flailing his arms. DC trying to do some hurry up here.
It's a 15-yard penalty if it's beyond 15 yards downfield.
Right.
Anything under 15
the coach
yards.
is challenging the previous play for pass interference on the defense.
Anything under 15 yards.
The previous play is under further review.
Spot foul. Let's listen in to Dean Blandino, the U.S. Army Command Center.
The ball's clearly catchable.
I did not play the ball.
And there is, the defender's not playing the ball. I'm going to go to my low left end zone, which is a good look. He's clearly not playing the ball. Receiver trying to come over. Left hand makes contact early right there before the ball. It's not even in the screen yet. So there's contact there. I'm going to take one more look here from my near side handheld. Again, not playing the ball, early contact. Nothing to change that. Scott, after review, the ruling on the field stands. It is pass interference.
Great stuff there from Dean in our command center. I'm a little surprised Bob Stoops decided to challenge this one. I really am.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Arlington has been charged a timeout and cannot have a coach's challenge for the rest of the game.
And I'm with you.
First down.
And a great example of that yesterday. St. Louis and San Antonio. Brahmas take the lead on a successful 2-point conversion attempt. A.J. McCarron noticed there was an ineligible receiver, an offensive lineman too far downfield, and they were able to challenge that and overturn the call. Got a stop after that and ended up winning the game.
Yeah. And that's the value of those super challenges for the coaches, which I love. I just love that rule here in the UFL. But you got to be very wise, and you got to be convinced if you choose to use it.
Because ultimately, it's still a 15-yard penalty if it stands. And that is on time to Ty Scott.
Harry, how critical is the speed cutout in terms of your footwork to make sure you're not stuttering and stabbing into the ground and you just roll into it?
Very important, Tom, because it's timing with the quarterback, right? And you have to make sure you roll off the right foot. You don't want to roll off your inside foot, lean too early, allow the DB to break on it. So great job right there by Ty Scott, and also by Vincent Smith when he scored his touchdown.
Yeah.
Roland lined up in the backfield, motions out. To Amu, to Roland. Working underneath for the first down. That is Roland's second catch.
I think it's safe to say that Chris Rowland is rolling down the river.
Hey, I want to see the moves like Tina. To Amu. Work in the middle and completing to Alex Ellis. Ellis with 11 games in his NFL career. Last with the Eagles in 2019.
Interesting right there with the tight ends and probably more McKinney. And Alex Ellis kind of settled in the same zone. A little miscommunication. One of them had to catch it.
Deep drop. Looking end zone. Flag down. Ellis draws the flag on Stephen Jones, who's in coverage.
Pass interference. Defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, you'd hear similar language of the mechanics from Dean Blandino on this as well. You're not playing the football. Contact's initiated prior to the ball arriving. That's a good call by the back judge there. Very similar to what we saw on the previous play that had been challenged.
So 2 PIs called against the Renegades on this drive. And Stephen Jones does have excellent ball skills. 2021 had 5 picks, 3 of them for touchdowns as he was an All-American at Appalachian State. To Amu, the wide roll thrown across his body and off the fingertips of Caden Smith, the Stanford Cardinal, who has a long NFL resume.
Credit Willie Taylor, number 50 on the edge. He forced Jordan Ta'amu to really venture and go back. It was hard for him to get his shoulders square and throw that ball downhill, and the ball ends up elevating on him. Number 50 off the edge right there for Arlington.
Spread right, 50, arrow, F angle, all ready. Let's go, 8 seconds, let's go, get set,
What do you know about Eastern Kentucky?
Look at that guy, he's a proud colonel.
Ready, set, go.
Ta'amu, Roland, is he in? Yes! In his college career in Tennessee State.
Rolling on the field for a touchdown.
Had scores as a kick returner, punt returner, a rusher, and a receiver. He's got 2 of those in this game alone.
Yeah, and it looks like he got rolled into the end zone.
The ball carrier short of the goal line.
Oh, see if he touches the ground, because it looks like he rolled over the defender initially, but maybe not. Call angle route.
Call on the field was a touchdown, but Dean Blandino was looking at everything inside the U.S. Army Command Center. Roland loses his touchdown. DC, though, inside the 1. Instead, it's Cameron Harris. And if you picked Harris for the anytime touchdown, you cash in. What a drive by the defenders, aided by 2 PIs against Arlington. And the Miami Hurricane makes it 21-14.
Really been a thorn in Arlington's side, Lowell. I mean, the entire day. Poor penalties, sloppy penalties at inopportune times, extending drives for this defense, or for this DC offense, where they would normally be kicking the ball away.
This is how it goes with the percentages. 1 and 2 have both hit at 41%, which begs the question, why go for the 1-point conversion when you can go for 2 with 2 times the points expected? But DC will go for 1. And tough sledding inside the Renegades, not allowing that to find the end zone, and it will stay. It's a 7-point lead for Jordan Ta'amu and the DC defenders. Roland lost his touchdown. Harris picked up 1. Barlow doesn't care who gets the credit. Just give the man 6.
Gear today.
We're back at Audi Field. I'm with quarterback Jordan Ta'amu with the DC defenders. 2 weeks in a row, you guys are able to come out of halftime and score a touchdown.
Yep.
How good does that feel?
It feels amazing. Our job, on our team is to, as soon as we get the ball, we got to score, and our defense is playing a hell of a game, and we just got to keep putting on points every time we get the ball.
What's the plan for the next drive?
Plan for the next drive is continue to chip away at the defense, drive down the field, hold the ball so our defense can rest, and put points up there.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you so much.
He has been one of the faces of this United Football League. It has been more difficult for him this year. His top running back from last year, Abram Smith, that led the XFL in rushing yards, injured his knee in training camp. So that really switched up the entire approach of this Fred Kice-directed DC defenders offense. A lot put on Jordan Ta'amu's broad shoulders this year. Man to go. To return. Arlington trying to get something going with special teams. Here's the spark they're looking for. Oh, around the neck and brought down at the 45-yard line. The UFL is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. The right call to protect your home and car. Visit progressive.com. Feeding the snake here in Washington, D.C. It is one of, if not the best tradition in the United Football League. And as the game goes on, that snake continues to slither.
Look at those guys, committed.
They got the memo, going shirtless as well.
Yep.
Like their brother in Birmingham, Alabama. Luis Perez down by 7. Awesome crowd here inside Audi Field. To South Canella. What a stop by Garyon Conley. Check in with Kayla.
Guys, I don't know about y'all, but I'm having myself a great time out here with this DC crowd. Here with Evan, the leader, the starter of this. How's the turnout so far?
I cannot hear right now.
How is it going so far?
Oh, I think it's going pretty good. If I do say so myself.
You're the only one, at least next to me, shirtless. Did you try to get everyone else to go that route?
Well, it's so loud, I'm
You're
sorry.
shirtless. Anyone else going that route?
I don't know if they want to join, they can, but it got hot out here today. Luckily, we got some cloud cover late. But, yeah, it was like 80 degrees earlier. I'm sweating so hard right now.
Guys, this has been an incredible crowd. They say that they're better than Birmingham. Obviously, Birmingham isn't here to defend itself. 75 feet, I'm told, is where we're at.
I was shirtless holding the beer steak before Birmingham, and they're shirtless, boys, all right? I was doing that first.
Okay. Evan started it. Noted. Thank you, Evan. Guys, I got to send it back to you.
Shots fired, and here's a shot fired by Luis Perez to South Canella, and there's a flag out. Now, Tom, my man Evan over there, could he not hear because it was loud?
Defense, number 39. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Or could he not hear because he was the one that started the beer snake? There's many layers there.
No, I don't think he could hear because it was loud. What I noticed initially is he came prepared. You can't hold the beer snake without a pair of wide receiver gloves, right?
True.
So you've got the gloves. He's probably got wristbands going on somewhere there, right? I'm surprised he didn't have a chin strap. Could probably use a chin strap.
I mean, what a scene there. Evan, our sweaty mess that is holding it down at the beer snake here in Washington, D.C. We got some more math on it. 25 rows, approximately 50 feet. 50 feet at 2 cups per inch, 1,200 beers. And the math, it's going to cost you $14,400. Well worth it on a day like this. I don't think, did you see my ESPN bet numbers? I'm begging for one of those, my man. Now we got some jawing on the sideline after the catch from Isaiah Winstead. A flag is out as well.
They're just telling each other how much they like each other. Little 6-yard hitch route right here. Turn it to the outside.
Oh. Sit down, Garyon Conley.
Boy.
Oh, there is a little shot by Conley after the fact.
We need to call for a peace treaty here.
Oh, this is what we want. We want some bad blood.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 20, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Where they always get the second guy, don't they, Lowell?
They do.
They always get the second guy, man.
Yeah, Tom, that's why I was always the first guy, buddy.
You know, the reality is, and Garyon Conley's been the player of the game on defense for DC here today. He has made so many plays, run defense, pass defense, has the interception. But the play right there was before the whistle blew. All right, so you can't fault Arlington. You can't fault Winstead. He makes a great stiff arm play.
Winstead, the former East Carolina standout, just showing physicality. And it was afterwards, Winstead staring at him a little bit. But hey, if you're gonna get 15 yards,
I don't know if that's a 15-yarder right there.
You hit me harder than that in the course of a broadcast.
I know, regularly.
You say, here we go.
The Michigan man, Davion Smith, already over his player prop and adding to that 5 yards. Here's Greg Williams.
Automatic front, LA, wide, extra slot. Automatic front, LA wide, extra slot. Del Monte behind you.
No, here. Here we go. You say.
Another carry for Smith and brought down by Trent Harris, the Miami Hurricane, and a terror off the edge.
Good looking play here. He's able to keep the outside arm free, leverage the football, go low on the tackle. Now big 3rd and 5 coming for Arlington.
I'll tell you, Luke, I don't like the play call. You have 3 receivers to the left side of the formation. In press coverage, the defense where in man coverage, they're all on the same level. Run some kind of wheel route, pick route, something to knock those guys off their path to score easily. That's what I thought they should have done that last play.
3rd and 5.
That's Canella right there.
Perez feeling the pressure. A little no-look broken up by DeAndre Baker. And the Georgia Bulldog comes up with the W in the end zone. And we're still jawing.
So now this one might have been worth the coach's super challenge right here. If you're Arlington, who wasted theirs previously, watch this ball in the air.
Yeah.
That would have been very, very close. Nevertheless, no call. 4th and 5.
DeAndre Baker, we talked to his head coach, Reggie Barlow. He called out Baker as a guy on top of the list that should have a shot to get back to the NFL. Remember, he was a 1st-round pick by the Giants in 2019 after winning the Thorpe Award as the top DB in America with the Georgia Bulldogs. 31-yard attempt for Jonathan Garibay. And that one is just over the very tip of the beer snake. It counts for 3. And we got a 4-point DC lead. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Get rowdy. And better cannot wait for that expansion. And what the UFL does is bridges that gap with the excitement post-college football, post-NFL leading up to college football season. Now, while we were in break, Reggie Barlow decided to use the Super Challenge. Let's listen in.
Right. Okay. So 4th down for them, 5 yards. Got it. All right. That's what we're figuring out right now. You got it? Yeah, I got it. Okay, good. Let me get over there and tell you. Hey, is Arlington aware of what's going on? Let them know over there. Did you say from the 13? Oh,
After review, delay a game, kicking team, 5-yard penalty from the 13-yard line. We're going to replay the down. It'll be 4th down. DC will not be charged a timeout. However, they cannot have a coach's challenge for the remaining of the game.
All right, so Reggie Barlow uses a super challenge. Look at the play clock as this winds down. Now here, this is another confusing one to me. The field goal is made, and if anything, you just back up Garibay 5 more yards, and he can kick it again.
Well, maybe he decided to come after it. I mean, it's really the only logical explanation here. Now, that was an egregious delay of game. I was very surprised that not one of the officials on the field had thrown the flag and blown the whistle. And that wasn't just, a split second after the clock ran to 0.
So Garibay will do it again, this time from 36 yards. And DC is really crowding the left side of the Arlington line. Off the edge, there was some pressure, but ultimately You use your super challenge, and it's the same result. It's not like it would have been a turnover or downs or anything like that.
Right, and it would be different if the field position would have been different.
Yeah.
Had the ball been, let's just say on the 34, now it backs it up to the 39.
You push it back to like a 63-yarder or something like that.
No question.
Is that a head scratcher for you?
It is. It is a bit of a head scratcher. Listen, I understand there's a chance that he can always miss it. You're ahead. It's not as if you're behind and you're playing a little desperate, but hey, he took a risk.
And with the ebbs and flows, especially in the final 5 minutes of these games.
Well, the good news is he's got all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Bad news is he doesn't get to challenge something that could truly matter, like we discussed earlier in the San Antonio-St. Louis game that changed the outcome of the game yesterday.
To me, you want that in your back pocket in the final 2 minutes.
No doubt. No doubt. No question. Unless you are absolutely convinced, and there's video evidence on the board inside the stadium.
But I think there you still have to pick your poison.
Yeah.
What's the net return at that point? Well, Roland is going to get another shot. And the NFL has to be taking notice of this performance. 235 all-purpose yards, the most in the United Football League for a player this year. Save your best for last. Chris Rowland is doing just that. And he's not asking to step into the NFL and be a starter. He's asking for a shot to get to training camp, to be on a practice squad, to have more time on an active roster, to show these moves. Not able to get it back to the 35 there. And we're pumped up because we've got 2 ESPN films premiering this week. I'm Just Here for the Riot. Details of massive riots that follow the Vancouver Canucks loss in the 2011 Stanley Cup Final. Then No Easy Victories dives into the 1994 New York Rangers Stanley Cup win with Mark Messier. We're working on a third. I'm Just Here for the Beer Snake.
That's right.
That's just in production.
It's on the horizon.
Yep. The story of the best tradition in the United Football.
I'm a little concerned about the curvature right now. We're going to have to straighten that thing up, clean that thing up. You're short about 4 or 5 rows because we've got a lack of strength up there. Let's get after it.
38 combined points. The over is still in play with 5:59 left in the 3rd quarter. How about this? Not the way they drew up the double pass. My goodness. And Briley Moore McKinney just says, that's the way I'll roll. So tipped at the line, Moore McKinney catches it and then throws it again.
Well, here's what you've got. You've got the deep corner out there. He's going to come here. This is a double forward pass attempt that could have been really clean because you had Vincent Smith wide open 86, but the pass rush for Arlington gets in the way.
What a heads-up play by Moore McKinney, because in college football, where he played at Kansas State, and in the NFL, you can't do that.
Nope.
But that is that unique rule of 2 forward passes allowed as long as both those passes, at least the first one, is behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and really the master of that so far in the UFL and really the XFL last year, his offensive coordinator, A.J. Smith, was with Houston a year ago, San Antonio this year, been very successful with the execution of their double forward pass.
Man, but that is just such a heads-up play by Briley Moore McKinney to not just tuck and run, but to understand the unique rules and take advantage of it. What a play. Second and 10. Cameron Harris. Good run off the gut. The Miami Hurricane adds 8 to his total.
It's going to be interesting decision time here for DC.
In terms of they come up short here?
Yeah, you're plus 50. The percentage would tell you on a 4th and 1 or less. You're probably going to want to go for it. But it's tight right now with a 21-17 ball game.
Ta'amu broken up the last moment. It was Joe Powell who had the 98-yard pick 6 in the upset against St. Louis last week.
Well, you've got the whip route coming right over to the left side of your screen, right there. The ball's a little late, and it allows the defender to jump up in front of that and get his hand in the way. Oh, that's why it's called a game of inches, folks.
Well, guys, let me tell you, Chris Rowland just abused the defender on his route. It was about the 2 to 5 yard route, faked inside, hit the brakes quickly. The defender kept going inside. He went outside. He was frustrated right then.
They'll come back to it then.
Brooks, this one is high and short. And a solid job by Manigault to corral that. 3:29 left here in the third quarter. Arlington finds itself once again in one of these tight games in the second half.
Yeah, and can you get your best momentum, play your best football down the stretch? You're in this thing, you're playing good enough. Both teams are making a fair share of mistakes. Arlington needs to do something, maybe take a shot, get an explosive, get momentum back on their sideline. They're on the road, we've got a hostile crowd. It's a great football game here this afternoon.
9 points needed to hit the over. That can happen in one possession with the touchdown followed by a 3-point conversion. Renegades coming off last year's XFL championship. They lost their first 6 games of the season. They've won 2 of the last 3. That's Davion Smith, who was part of that championship team. Chuck Long called the plays last year as well.
3.
College football Hall of Famer Chuck Long. Backside pressure. Perez dealing with it brilliantly and completing to Isaiah Winstead. And Kelly brings him down. Move the sticks.
I really like Isaiah Winstead.
Me too. He's big and long, isn't he? Look how long his arms are.
Had a great game last week. Had one-on-one coverage on the outside. Did a great job avoiding the press coverage. One on a go route for a touchdown. He also had a 6-yard out, guys, that he took for over 20 yards. So he's really coming along this season and has been a valuable weapon for the Arlington Renegades.
And the quote of the week, throw it to me, I'll make it happen. Harry, I'm sure you said that before. There's Darrington, and nothing there. The DC defense has struggled against the run. Worst rush defense in the league. And moved that one backwards. That's Niles Scott from Frostburg State. Harry.
I think all wide receivers say that.
Yeah.
You know I'm open, throw it to me, I'll make it happen. Only a few actually make it happen, guys.
But they all say it.
Yep.
Winstead, 6'3", 210, played at Norfolk State, Toledo, and East Carolina. Perez goes down. Is there going to flag for grounding? The DC fans want one. Nothing yet. And there it is.
Deontay Burnett, 21.
Is it more than 10? That's why I want to make sure.
8, Tyler Bonds were on that sideline, but he was not intending to hit that.
Thank you.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 12. The ball will be placed at the spot of foul. Lost it down. 3rd down.
And once again, Malik Fisher making the big play to set that up. The Villanova Wildcat, number 92.
Yeah, it's coming off the edge here. He's been a force all season long. But look at where this ball ends up going. And they're going to say that 21 right there in the slot is not in close enough proximity here.
Fisher with 22 sacks in his career at Villanova, where he was a 3-time CAA selection. Perez pressured again, dumps it at the last moment. Flag down as this was complete to Devin Darrington. And now we're exchanging pleasantries with the big nasties.
Got Sergio. Scott, I got a flag. Scott. All right. Okay. Prior to the pass, had holding on defense number 6. Open up your mic. So let's see. Open up your mic. Holding on defense number 6 prior to the pass, and it was a completed. Was it more than 5? Pass. More than 5 yards? It's gonna be automatic first down. I know, but previous spot. Okay, got you. Okay. And what number was it again?
Wow.
Number 6. Number 6. Okay.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 6. 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
can't have it, Tom. Would have been 3rd 23. Now it's a first down.
It's the 3rd time today on this DC defense. You see number 6, Farrad Gardner, there in the middle of your screen. And he's just kind of spying right there. And it's a good call. I mean, he impedes his ability to run the route and try to work back to the quarterback or away from the defender.
The Louisiana Raging Cajun, he was a bad man in his career at Louisiana. Both teams now with 6 penalties. That one so costly for a team that's trying to crawl back and take the lead. 40 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Darrington, nowhere to go. And wrapped up by Isaiah Johnson and Anthony Hines.
Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, block him.
The man wasn't there for Darrington to block. Back shoulder. Is that brought in? Yes! Winstead helping his stock with another crazy catch on the sideline.
I know Harry's over there on that sideline. This is a one-handed back shoulder throw.
No.
Let's see. We're going to have to take a really close look at that feet.
That right foot. I don't know.
Going to be tough. I think this was going to get a long look from Dean Blandino back in the U.S. Army Command Center.
We're going to take a break as we've hit the end of the 4th quarter. Is that catch number 5 for Isaiah Winstead as we hit the end of the 3rd quarter, setting up the final quarter of the regular season. So Dean Blandino took a look at this play in the U.S. Army Command Center, and he rules that Isaiah Winstead had his right foot down out of bounds before this catch was made. So, Tommy, we're looking at an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass, but a phenomenal effort. Pass to catch to secure it. And again, you're just so close. You see the toe on the white there. So 3rd and 8 coming up for Arlington on what is a huge down by 4 to start this 4th quarter.
Arlington only 3 of 8 on 3rd down. Not bad. But considering this is a team that's been humming at more than 50%. One off that at this rate. 3rd and 8 for Luis Perez. And movement all over the place on the right side.
Boy, Sal Cannella is very fortunate here.
And why is that?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 50. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Because he jumped at the bottom of the screen. Derek Robertson, number 50, at the top of the screen jumps. And they called the encroachment on the defensive player. Look here to the right side of your screen. Wow. Very fortunate offensively. That could have gone, I think, either way.
Second call for that penalty on Robertson in this game. Now it's a 3rd and 3. Arlington down by 4. Final game of the regular season in the UFL for both teams. Sideline, what a catch! Hauled in by Tyler Vaughns. There was that early drop, but Vaughns has come off with a touchdown, and now this amazing catch.
I'll tell you what, Luis Perez has thrown the back shoulder
completed catch. 1st down.
Wonderfully, and to Harry's point in the 1st quarter, you want to strengthen those hands and those forearms by getting your hands in a bucket of rice. That's what I saw right there, Harry.
Great job picking on the 3rd corner for the DC defenders, too. It's a game of matchups. You got the matchup you wanted. Vaughns and Perez connected.
As a game-winning touchdown in the preseason with the Steelers, but no regular season action. Wide open now. The adjustment. Now he finds the end zone. Tyler Vaughn, the USC Trojan, getting hot and staying hot. Renegades take the lead.
He got Garyon Conley to bite. And what did we say earlier about breaking routes? He's going to jump the breaking route, right? Because he had just intercepted that pass in the first quarter on the exact same route. So what do? They run the sluggo, slant and go. Terrific route, avoids contact there, Harry. And Garyon Conley, hook, line, and sinker, tries to jump that slant.
And we call that use and abuse him.
And his player prop, his hit, 82 yards for Vaughns. Holton Ahlers now in a quarterback. We saw this little razzle-dazzle last week. Vaughns, slippery, finding the end zone in every which way.
So here's what I love about this play, and Harry will attest to it if he's being honest. Anytime you have a double pass set up where the running back or the receiver is supposed to throw the football, the coaching point is if it's not there, run it or throw it away. And invariably, the guy always throws it up for grabs and something bad happens. Credit Burnett here. He sees it's not there, but he also sees open grass. So he's going to tuck the football, make a couple of people miss. Positive outcome. And boy, do we have ourselves a football game here in the fourth quarter.
And you're right, Tom. It was a bad play.
Right.
And he turned a bad play into a great play, and they were able to convert. Now we have a ball game, guys.
And one score away from the overhitting. So if you took that under, you are holding your breath the rest of the way.
Lo, I think it's just odd that you have not mentioned what I chose as my prop bet today when my prop bet hit in the first half.
It's jealousy, Harry.
Obviously.
Because there's only 4 of us, and you're still in 5th place.
Harry, you're still in more debt than I am.
And your wife's still mad at you from Churchill Downs? What are you talking about?
She sure is. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure she's not. We call it the doghouse. Yeah, I've been in it for a while.
I'm the one that's... I got a white knuckler up here. All I need is Sal Cannella to score a touchdown. That's all I need. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how far away. Just one, and it's over.
And that seemed like the no-brainer to me. Here's Chris Rowland just going off. 260 all-purpose yards and a kick return for a touchdown. Last player in the NFL to do that, Tyreek Hill. If you're doing something that Cheetah does, you are electric. Red hot is Chris Rowland. That is helping his NFL stock. Here's Kayla.
Guys, I'm here with the guy who's keeping this team really in this game. First of all, can you just bring back the footwork? Where did you learn that to shake your guy like that?
Ballet. I mean, it gave me the balance that I needed to do. And just the stability with B-boys. You feel me? Shout out my big bros.
You said ballet. When did you do ballet?
I did ballet in high school for like 3 years. It was great. You feel me? It helped me in football, stretching, and flexibility.
Why are you here? Why do you continue to be in that UFL and show what you've been able to do out here today?
I love to play football, so this is an opportunity in which I can play. So I'm here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that they gave me. Happy birthday, John. That was for you, my boy. Yeah.
Tyler Vaughn's delivery. I remember that was the rage years ago, I think, growing up.
What, ballet?
Yeah, well, a lot of NFL players were doing ballet.
Willie Gault.
Flexibility.
Remember Willie Gault from Chicago Bears?
I do. 5 catches, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. So the player prop at 46.5 receiving yards. That is hit and then some for the USC Trojan. Now it's time to answer for the DC defenders. Flipping one way to Amu, wide open to Alex Ellis, and Ellis rumbling to the 35-yard line, 18-yard pickup for the Tennessee Vols.
You gotta love the backfield action, and then they end up leaking right here, but the backfield action is what sets it up. Really well executed. The fake toss to the boundary, come back. Good settle by Ellis right there in the zone. Well-timed football play.
To Amu, sideline, Brandon Smith. How about that for a rebuttal? A flag is down in the backfield.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Greg Long called for the hold. Wipe it out. That touchdown. by Brandon Smith.
Yeah, he replaced number 62, Jared Williams, in the offensive line. You see him kick out to the edge right there, and he's just got his arms and his hands on the outside, clotheslining Smith, the defender, off of the edge. Just could not have been a better thrown football from Jordan to Amu. Pump on the out route, drops it in the bucket down the sideline.
That was almost some great poetry with the Iowa Hawkeye trying to give his team the lead over a couple of Iowa legends in Bob Stoops and Chuck Long. Coaching on the Arlington side. Quick hitter there to Ty Scott. Makes it a little more manageable on second down. Without some penalties and drops, the over would have hit a long time ago.
No doubt.
2nd and 14. Scott in motion. Ta'amu rolls and throws back the other way to Moore McKinney, trying to spin. He's wrestled down at the 40-yard line, a loss of 2. There's a play call from Fred Kites.
Let's go. 11. Toledo right. Toledo right. Red chip arrow. Red chip arrow.
Red chip arrow. Red chip.
Fred Kice, the offensive coordinator, has won Black College national titles at Southern and Hampton. All of his college experience at HBCUs. 3rd and 16. Take a shot. He's open! Now celebrate Brandon Smith. No one is taking this one away from you.
Focus on number 22, the Free State's Jamal Carter. He's going to be right there. And I don't understand. He gets caught up with Smith, and then he just stops. He just stops playing. There was no whistle blown. The play was clear from being over. If he continues to run with him, he at least has a chance to contest the throw.
43-yarder got wiped out because of the hold. Brandon Smith, the Iowa Hawkeye, comes back with the 40-yarder. And the over has hit.
You can go.
Now the 2-point attempt from the 5-yard line. Trying to make this a 4-point game, and it is. Alex Ellis, celebrate one time.
Timeout.
The beer snake grows as the DC defenders take the lead back. Brandon Smith all by his lonesome. We are rocking and rolling here inside Audi View.
Set up with 80, I said hut. Turbo said hut. Or Turbo said hut. Got him. Turbo said hut.
Great drive, offense. Great drive, Bobby. Great drive, fellas.
So, Tom, what were they working on there with the cadence?
Well, you got first down, and their first down is terrible. And then on 1, on 2, he's trying to make sure that they understand the differences in the inflection of the cadence. So everybody holds their water, and it only affects the defense.
What a game here to wrap up the season for Arlington and DC. You would not know these two teams have been eliminated from the playoffs for weeks. They are absolutely going at it. Juwan Manigo, this thing is going to be down with the ball at the 1-yard line. See where this thing comes out.
I don't think Manigo knew what to do.
Check in with Dean.
He's running the end zone.
I can't hear
Travis. Still safety.
Say it again. Say it again, Scott.
If the ball was never in the end zone, his knees were in the end zone, the ball was at the line.
Yeah. But it's not downed yet, right? He's not down by contact.
Yeah.
He brings the ball back.
Yeah, that's right.
The ruling on the field is a safety. The receiver was in the end zone
He
and never
can't bring
downed
the ball back into the end zone. But when he downs it, he's responsible for putting the ball in the end zone.
Unreal turn of events.
Watch what happens here. He's in the end zone, ball's on the 1. He picks it up and brings it back into the end zone, and then he's tagged down.
And it's a regular
Right
kickoff,
there.
just in return, correct?
Isn't this Arlington season in a nutshell?
And the thing is, he didn't even need to touch that football.
It's a dead ball.
It's a dead ball.
Unlike the NFL or college football, that's correct.
So now you add 2 points for the defenders, but more deflating than that, you give them the football back. Unbelievable.
Again, I go back to the season that Arlington has had, the third and fourth quarter blown leads, the last second losses on field goals as time's expired. It's been an up and down roller coaster for the Renegades, but a lot of plays like that one right there.
Let's bring in Dean Blandino from the U.S. Army Command Center. Break that one down and the ruling there, Dean.
Unusual play. I was just saying in the command center, this game has had a little bit of everything. We'll add one more thing to the game. So the returner, he's in the end zone, but the ball had come to rest in the field of play. So now he's going to pick it up and bring it into the end zone where he basically gives himself up. He's responsible for putting the ball in his own end zone, and when it's dead there, the ruling on the field is a safety.
Now, if he would have just not touched that football, let DC touch it first, what happens in that instance?
Then Arlington would have gotten the football at that spot. It's just like a punt, like Arlington would have downed the defense, the kicking team would have downed the punt at that spot.
Yeah.
Wow. We're seeing it all, and you're breaking it all down for us. Dean Blandino, thank you so much for everything you do.
I question whether Dean's even seen one of those this season. I haven't. We haven't been a part of something like that.
Ever.
Yeah, ever.
22 stick. Hold on, ready. Skins left tight. 22 stick.
Now, with all that said and done, Arlington's still right where they need to be. They just need to get a stop here.
But it's a momentum killer.
Oh, no doubt.
It's a confidence drainer.
That way.
All right, we're going to have a little run-pass option here.
Obviously, a lost possession as well. Here's Harris. You hear Ta'amu saying, go, Cam, go. And Cam listens for 16 yards.
So what the run-pass option is it's going to key this defender right there. And when that defender ends up coming up the field here, quarterback Jordan Talmo knows to hand it off. If he were to crash down, then he pulls it and throws it to the wide receiver who's left.
Skins right tight. 23 stick. On right.
Same exact play to the other side. We're going to get the same play to the other side.
Tight, V. Ready. Second.
Harris, a couple of yards. Start the play. Where in the world is Herod Douglas? Yes.
It's a wonderful time up here, guys.
Wow. Well, we forgot to get you on tape chugging the beer that you just put in the snake.
No.
What they don't know won't hurt, guys.
That's a good point.
Let's be very clear. That did not happen. Ty Scott, intended receiver, incomplete. We like our guy here.
If it's not on TV, it didn't happen.
It's like offensive lineman Eric McClantel this last week.
Yeah.
No penalties, no sacks allowed. Harry, of all your athletic achievements, where does that one rank up with them?
Right here, right now, with this crowd, feeding the beer snake, this might be first on my list all time, guys. And they're giving me cups to feed the snake. The crowd is rowdy. It's unbelievable up here.
Well, you got to oblige. You got to feed that thing. Going underneath in the bobble. Does he make the catch out of bounds? Is Caden Smith incomplete? So we'll set up a 4th down here. Harry, what's your breakdown? Do we got enough juice to make it up to that 137 sign above you?
All right, guys. Remember the slinky growing up? We used to have a slinky, right?
Yeah.
Well, this thing is growing just like a slinky used to.
Oh, there's more.
And I'm a part of holding it now.
And it's getting straighter. Is it heavy?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
wait. It's come apart. Harry, get on that.
There we go.
Okay.
Connect 4, baby.
Nervous moments as the beer snake momentarily came apart. Harris Johnny on the spot. 4th and 8. The punt is away. There's a man to go, calling for the fair catch. And this is into the end zone. So Arlington will take over at the 25. What a wild sequence of events. The highlight of it all, Harry Douglas with his people feeding the snake as it moves onward and upward here in Washington, D.C.
Thought you was gonna pass. I thought you was gonna catch it. I thought you was gonna catch it. Can I see the fucking iPad? Let me see that.
Come on, man. Let's go. Did Anthula Kelly give a little whoop? Break up?
It's a place today.
Former all Mountain West first team selection out of Fresno State. United Football League bringing it. We've seen everything today. The amazing access like that. Guys trying to get to the NFL like Chris Rowland, who's been brilliant. We've had the fan participation, the bizarre rules. I mean, this has truly delivered to wrap up the regular season for these two teams. Canella! No! Picked off! Monte Nicholson! Defenders rolling in front of their home crowd. He's got 3 of those in the NFL. Nicholson now with 2 this season for the Defenders.
Well, this is one of the few times you'll see Luis Perez make an ill-advised throw over the middle into traffic, and he just does not see the flat-footed 21 from his safety spot. And Monte Nicholson, the former Michigan State Spartan, stepped right in front of the intended target, Sal Cannella.
And that is DC royalty at this point in time. All 3 years in the NFL out of Michigan State with the Commanders. And now developing into a star for these DC Defenders. Will it be enough to get him another taste of that NFL life? He's not giving up that football, Tom. I can tell you that much.
No, he's not. He made a play on it. Stopped his feet, planted, came forward. I think a lot of these plays in the back end today from DC defensively have come through film study and knowing what's coming.
Here is Higgins. The Arlington defense bowing up. Colin Schooler out of Arizona and Texas Tech with the stop. Here's the NFL experience in the DC Defenders secondary. Conley was a first-round pick. DeAndre Baker also a first-rounder. And Nicholson out of Michigan State, 4th-round selection. All those guys trying to just get another shot. And Reggie Barlow put DeAndre Baker at the top of that list to get a shot.
Well, and you notice, too, they come from championship, high-level programs that have an expectation level to win.
To Amu. Dancing. And hit before he could release the football. And no quit in this Arlington team. That's a loss of 4 as Donald Payne gets the sack. Payne, the tackling juggernaut out of Stetson. He's also been in the NFL. 30 games over 3 years, last with the Jaguars.
Just got to get a little bit of this back. They're going double chip, meaning they want to have max protect initially to give Jordan Ta'amu time to find a target. You can kick a field goal here.
And Ta'amu with the timeout.
Timeout. DC, this is their first of the half. This will be 30 seconds.
And with a potential timeout, still just makes it a 9-point game, which is a one-score game in the UFL. Let's listen in.
Texas bunch left. Texas bunch. Hey! X across. No! Wide out, come here. Hey, y'all can hear it too, right?
Texas bunch left.
X across. Yellow chip, white cross.
X across, run the curl, and it's going to be wide cross.
All right. Yeah.
No. Hey, if they give us a gift right now,
yes,
take it.
I will. Yeah, we're going to this guy, I'm on ready. Yeah, X across. Yes, sir.
To Amu on third downs, big clutch, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the first meeting, it was DC erasing a 10-point deficit in the final minute. They flipped the script here in meeting number 2 on the season. Ta'amu goes down. All them Renegades all over Ta'amu for the sack.
A lot of credit to Arlington on defense and Bob Stoops' ball club here, because this is going to be a very difficult field goal attempt. If they're able to get out of this deal with no points being allowed on the board, Arlington deserves a ton of credit here. Just coverage sack on back-to-back downs. Nowhere to go with the football. You can't take a sack there if you're Jordan Thomas.
Will Clark with the sack. He's 33 years old. Who knows? Is this his final moments in professional football? Figure out the future after this season. McCrane lets it fly to extend the lead, and it's no good. 54-yarder sells wide right, and Arlington, with 6:32 left, can take the lead with the touchdown and conversion. The UFL regular season ending tonight with the Memphis Showboats hosting the Houston Roughnecks at 7 Eastern on Fox. Both those teams with just one win on the season. So the league has decided to shake it up. The winner, not the loser, the winner of that game gets the #1 pick in this year's UFL draft and the first pick in every subsequent round.
Motivation, man. Yeah. Motivation to win. I love it. How about that interception by Luis Perez? It's as if it didn't even happen. Look at the field position.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
For a team that really has had some blunders here in the second half, Arlington is right in position. A flip to Deontay Burnett, and Burnett is thrown out by Santos Ramirez, the Arkansas Razorback. What do the Renegades need to do to settle down and get the offense going again?
I'd like to see them get something that's in their intermediate area of the field. They throw the back shoulder throw really, really well. They've had success with it. Get an explosive big play to get some momentum and some confidence.
Canella has been quiet. He's in the slot, the bottom of the formation. Perez going right side. And that's the guy that's been electric, Tyler Vaughn's. An incomplete.
That's usually a very simple rhythm and timing throw from Luis Perez, and he's just high. He's got the route. He's open. Just missed him.
Season high 2 picks for Perez. Dumps it down to Davion Smith. There is a flag down, however, where Perez was hit. And again, we've got the defenders and Renegades, the big nasties, tangling up. Malik Fisher is looking to scrap with anybody.
Make sure we hold a spot out there, guys. I've got the spot right here. Thank you.
Marcus Minor did not want to let go of the leg of Trent Smith.
Got tracked up. I think it's 90.
Trent Harris, excuse me.
All right. Let's over play.
Play shooting line the game.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the line, automatic first down.
Oh, it's good we don't have a live mic on Greg Williams at that moment.
Yeah, you see Niles Scott, number 90 right there.
97 on defense.
They're going to call 97. That's big Kevin Atkins. And honestly, because he went high. I mean, the bottom line is he went high.
And Perez knew it immediately.
Yeah,
sold it.
No question. Look at the difference in field position off of that one play.
Smith, the Michigan Wolverine, patient running style. That's a heck of a pickup there on first down, 7 yards. This has the feel of a playoff game. For two teams with a combined 6 wins. Smith, left side, moving the ball forward, close to the sticks. Looks like he has just enough.
It was a speedball one, so I don't think we're doing it.
Gotta love Arlington, the confidence in the run game, playing this game as if they're in the lead.
Well, they really are in control.
Yeah.
To just get the score and the conversion, you got plenty of time, and at this point, probably don't want to leave DC with too much time on the spot. 3rd and 1, it was short. Devin Darrington. And Darrington converts first down run from the Virginia Cavalier way of Harvard.
Just press the hole. You got to get one. That's it. Drag the pile a little bit. As that clock winds down, you're right. Arlington in control, but behind.
Perez back foot. There's Canella finally getting into the red zone. Sal Canella, the top tight end in the league with a 16-yard pickup.
They caught, I think it's Farad Gardner, number 6, peeking in the backfield. No, not that time. That was Reggie Northrup, number 5. The linebacker, single digit. Canella just pops behind. Well executed.
Canella, 7 catches, 50+. Back to Smith. He's been the bell cow on this drive. Couple of yards.
I think, Tom, that's what's been so impressive today is that they haven't strayed away from the run game.
Right. Yeah, they haven't, and they've had some success, like we talked about on the back shoulder throws downfield.
And again, DC with the worst rush defense in the UFL. So it does make sense. This drive, aided by the roughing call against DC.
There's our guy Canella right there.
Perez pressured to the end zone. Arlington scores. Deontay Burnett has just tied it up at 31.
Talk about navigating the pocket. Credit Luis Perez here. No backs. Steps up, keeps both hands on the ball, and gets his eyes up late to locate Burnett. Really impressive. You see Sal Canella there being walled off by Santos Ramirez. They're taking him away.
This will be a 1-point conversion from the 2-yard line and for the lead. Renegades upset DC for the XFL championship last season. Looking for another win. Smith driving forward to give the Renegades the lead.
Man, for a second there, I thought that Luis Perez was going to pull this football, and he might have walked in the end zone. Look at the power, the push from Arlington. That's pride right there. That's a group of people that came here to win. Both teams out of the playoffs. We got ourselves a tie ball game. You got 2.5 yards to get 1 point to take the lead, and everybody's involved in white jerseys there.
And in our conversations with Bob Stoops, we asked him what needs to click, and he was very adamant that they just needed to find ways to finish games. Finishing has been the story. It has been a solid team up until moments like this.
Correct. Especially late in the third quarter, into the fourth quarter throughout the season is what's been plaguing them. And some of the wounds have been self-inflicted. Some of them have been injury-related. And some of them have just been boneheaded plays like we saw from Manigo right there, and then giving up the safety on in the special teams play.
And they still overcome it with a great defensive stand after they took away
stands,
after that safety call. So here's what we got. Kicking to Chris Rowland, who's got the most all-purpose yards in a game this season, has already taken an 84-yard kick return to the house, the only kick return score this year. There's 2:28 left, both teams with 2 timeouts. Neither team has a super challenge available. Short kick for Rowland in traffic, and a fine job by the Arlington special teams. Here's Kayla.
Guys, here with Arlington quarterback Luis Perez, 22 of 37 and over 215 yards, and yet you were able to remain so composed down that stretch. What allowed you to do that?
You know, great play calling, great execution by our guys, and we were able to make it happen.
How do you continue to feed off this momentum as the clock winds down?
Yeah, well, momentum is everything. You just got to keep, make sure the defense gets a stop here, and we can finish the game off with a nice second drive. So we'll see if we can do it.
Thanks, Luis.
Appreciate it.
18 passing touchdowns this season. Leads the UFL, has not been perfect.
Here we go.
But he has shown the grit in a winner's DNA. Ta'amu broke it up. Can't sneak it past Stephen Jones.
What a time up that pass deflection there by Jones on the slant route.
Hold it. Hey, bunch right tight. 71.
We're coming down to the 2-minute warning. And it looks like DC will take this down to the 2-minute warning, and an opportunity to talk this play over. 2 timeouts remaining for DC, down by 1. It's always good when it's the Renegades and the defenders, and we'll be back after this message from our ABC stations.
You take a look at these conversions and why this is just a 1-point lead for the Arlington Renegades. After touchdowns, after quality drives, DC has not been able to convert. Arlington has stepped up. I thought that first one to Ellis was a drop that should have been caught. They've also missed a field goal here, so that's why DC finds themselves in this position inside of 2 minutes here to go in the fourth quarter.
The first matchup of the season in week 3. Jordan Ta'amu, Reggie Barlow and company found a way to score 11 points in the final minute to beat the Renegades. All they need here is 3 in the final 2 minutes. Final regular season game for both of these squads. There's no playoff after this for them, but you want to know it by the intensity as Ty Scott picks up the completion. So here we go on 3rd and 4.
Eight's right close. Yeah, 72, spacing good. Spacing.
Both teams use their super challenge in situations that we could best describe as questionable earlier in the game. Will that be a factor? And that sells high as Ta'amu was looking for Harris. So 4th and 4. Let's listen in.
Here we go. Hey, flex right lasso. On ready. Here we go. Let's go. Get set. Ready.
Ta'amu and the defenders need to convert here. Using the legs. DC will not get it. The Renegades make the stop. Ajane Harris, Will Clark there to meet Jordan Ta'amu and deny him the first down yardage.
Well, this is clearly set up to get Ta'amu outside of the pocket to have a run-pass option. I kind of felt like he took off and run a little too early. Maybe we should have let that develop just a little bit, and the crowd does not like that play call. And credit Arlington. They just sat back in zone, kept their eyes forward. They knew that quarterback run is going to be an option there. You don't want to be caught in man defense with your back to the quarterback.
Yeah, in that situation, you have to throw that football and give your offense a chance to be able to pick up that first down.
Yep.
Once you see that there are a lot of white jerseys in front of you, you have to throw that football.
Yep.
So DC still with 2 timeouts to use. 1:16 left. Will Ta'amu get another shot? Or can Luis Perez ice this thing? To Smith. Smith still churning, and Smith is going to be right at the first down marker. 10 yards, move the sticks, first down. So the clock will pause as the ball is spotted, but the clock will again run. Big game, Bob Stoops, living up to the nickname. Trying to close this season with 3 wins in the last 4 games after opening up with 6 straight losses. Back to the Michigan Wolverine, Davion Smith. There's a stop, and this is where DC needs to call the timeout.
Yeah, absolutely, right here.
Timeout. DC, this is their second of the half. This will be 30 seconds.
Steer. Hey, steer too. Hey. They call timeout, right? They call timeout. They call timeout, right? Yeah, they call timeout, pretty sure. Yeah, hey, they call him.
All right, listen to me. Hey, if it stays 11, we're going to go over lightning, 0 press. Tell them to press so they don't have a hot throw. Over lightning, 0 press.
So here's a bit of a risky call. If you're Greg Williams on defense, you're going to go 0. That means it's man-to-man, nobody in the middle of the field. They're going to twist inside with some line games, and then they're going to press across the board. They're daring them to throw it here.
Here we go, here we go.
DC has to hunt the football.
Here we go. Terrible tonight.
On timeout remaining, Smith jump cut. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. Here comes another timeout.
I like Arlington not taking the bait.
Timeout. DC, this is their third and final of the half. This will be 30 seconds.
And so Rulli here.
Got to run it twice.
Yeah. Arlington just has to play this smart and sound, which has not been the case for either team throughout the course of this game. Tonight, Sunday Night Baseball, series finale between the Cardinals and the Phillies. The game begins at 7 Eastern with Baseball Tonight, starting our coverage on ESPN. Bob Stoops has been on the losing side of many games like this. Unfortunately, this year, 5 losses for the Renegades by 1 score or less, 3 by 3 points or less. Smith and DC will not be able to stop the clock. The Arlington Renegades are going to take a victory to wrap up a season marked by inconsistency and late game collapses, but will end with the 3-1 mark in the final 4 games of the season.
Yep, finished it strong, cleaned things up, got a little confidence, some momentum. Played really well in a win versus St. Louis a week ago, and came on the road in really one of the most hostile environments in the league, and able to steal a win.
And I would say now the real intrigue starts. What this league is ultimately about. Did Luis Perez do enough this season? Capping it with the game where he had some mistakes, but ultimately showed the grit and the pedigree of a champion. Did he do enough to get a shot at an NFL invite? Did Chris Rowland do enough to get back to the NFL?
Well, and how about a guy like Garyon Conley, former first-round draft choice, had a great day today defensively on the losing end for DC. There are so many of these guys that are young enough, they're hungry enough, they need the right situation, the right place at the right time, and see if they can have the stars align.
Here's Terry and Coach Stoops.
Coach Stoops, you came into this ball game knowing that you guys could not make the playoffs. What was the message all week to your guys about playing hard, playing tough, and finish this thing the right way?
It's really not hard for these guys. They all play hard. They love the game. That's why they're all out here. They still have a platform to show other teams and NFL teams that they could still play. So it was really easy, to be honest with you. They practiced well all week and played a really strong game today.
Offensively, your quarterback, Luis Perez, you guys were able to get him last year via trade. He became your starter. You won the XFL championship at the time. This year, he's had a phenomenal season. What do you have to say about your quarterback?
Yeah, Luis Perez is a fantastic quarterback. Got a great arm, incredibly bright. Half the time on 2-minute drills, he calls his own plays. He's like a coach on the field. So just proud of Luis, and he's been a huge spark plug for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Over to you, Kayla.
Guys, here with Tyler Vaughns, who has made his way into the end zone multiple times. How important was it for you to finish on such a strong note?
It was just important to finish. We haven't been finishing all year, just in a game. So today, just piecing it up together and finishing the game, it was a great win.
How would you evaluate yourself throughout this season?
I think I did pretty good. I mean, the team actually helped us in terms of getting everybody open, so I just fed in with my opportunities. So when my opportunities, I took advantage of it.
How important is it to be in a league that provides so much opportunity when you're trying to get to that next level?
It's very important because you need the film and the updated film. So just each and every year, if you get the opportunity to play somewhere and you can develop your resume, as they say, it's great.
Way to finish strong. Congrats.
I appreciate it.
Guys.
The over hit, Arlington covers, and we had the biggest, baddest beer snake of the season to wrap it all up. Tom, Harry, Kayla, this was an absolute honor and blast. The United Football League has proven this season it is here to stay. An electric atmosphere and a league of opportunities. Where will we see these players next? This is the way to go out on top. Renegades win 32-31.